Chapter number 10: Disaster Management. India is one of the dynamic countries of the world. It is the seventh largest country in the world and the second most populated country after China. India has high mountains, big rivers, glaciers, plateaus, plains, etc. India is one of the most disaster-prone countries of the world due to its unique physical features. Disasters are classified into two types: A. Natural disasters and B. Human-made disasters. Natural disasters have no human interventions such as earthquakes, cyclones, floods and droughts. On the other hand, human-made disasters include train accidents, plane crashes, industrial and nuclear accidents, biological disasters, etc. Hazard is a concept related to disaster. Hazard means a natural phenomenon that may cause a disaster. When natural disasters occur, the community is always the first to help. By knowing more about various disasters, we can help the victims in a better way. Earthquakes. Earthquake is caused due to internal pressure within the earth. It can simply be defined as a sudden shaking of the earth's crust, which lasts for a very short time. It sometimes causes severe devastation. The shaking movements, which are produced by an earthquake, are termed as seismic waves. Focus is the term used for the place within the earth from where the earthquake is originated. Epicenter is the term used to define the place which is directly above the focus on the surface of the earth. The effect of the earthquake are too strong near the epicenter. The occurrence of an earthquake is detected by a sensitive instrument called seismograph. Richter scale is the scale which is used to measure the magnitude or the intensity of the earthquake. It is nearly impossible to predict the occurrence of an earthquake, as it usually occurs suddenly. Violent earthquakes are very damaging and destructive. Serious damages to life and property are caused by them. In a devastating earthquake on 26th January 2001 in Gujarat, 1.5 million people were injured, more than 20,000 people died, and around 8 lakh houses were destroyed. The Himalayas are young-fold mountains in the north part of India. Their formation is not yet complete. Hence, the region of Himalayas is very active. The area which comes under maximum risk is Kutch region of Gujarat and the Ganga-Brahmaputra basin. Precautions during earthquakes. Whenever you feel a tremor, move to an open area. Do not remain inside your house or school building. Open areas are also not fully safe. In such areas, we must get away from things which may fall on us, such as buildings, electricity poles, transmission towers, trees, etc. Keep yourself away from windows, bookcases, fans, hanging pots, etc. during or immediately after an earthquake. People who are driving must stop in an open area and get out of the vehicle. Bridges and flyovers must be avoided after an earthquake because they may be cracked or damaged. Do not panic inside a hall, stadium and auditorium. Be patient and remain inside. Give your full cooperation to rescue teams and volunteers in relief camps. Cyclones. Circulatory winds in the lower parts of the atmosphere are generally termed as cyclones. They originate over the warm ocean water of tropical and temperate regions. A cyclone occurs when a low-pressure area is surrounded by high pressure. Thus, the winds blow at a very high speed towards the center. These winds are destructive in nature, which can blow at a velocity of 300 km per hour. These winds are accompanied by heavy rains. The areas prone to cyclones are Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, and coastal areas of Maharashtra and Gujarat. The movement and development of cyclones in India are observed and studied by Indian Meteorological Department. It is government agency which also involves sending warning messages through radio and television to alert airports, seaports and fishermen. Precautions against cyclones. People should seek the latest information about weather on television and radio and act according to warning during a cyclone alert. We should remain in our house if it is constructed well, that is a pakka house, and close all the doors and windows. In case it is a semi-pakka house or a hut, we should leave it quickly to a cyclone shelter or a stronger building. When people get cyclone warning, they should pack all the food items in a waterproof bag and keep an emergency kit ready at home. During a cyclone, no one should go into the sea. People should keep their phone diaries or phone books updated by keeping the numbers of help agencies, hospitals, police, relatives and friends. When the wind subsides, one should not come out immediately from the house. Wait proper announcement by government officials. After the cyclone, one should take utmost care of gas leaks, fallen electric wires, snake bites, and damaged or weakened structures. Wonderful to know. Hurricane Katrina was one of the deadliest hurricanes in the history of the United States. It has catastrophic effects on the city of New Orleans in Louisiana and coastal Mississippi. At least 1,836 people lost their lives in this hurricane. Floods. A flood occurs when a large amount of water covers an area. It generally occurs due to heavy rainfall. Flood also occurs when a river overflows its water due to heavy rainfall. A flood is dangerous and it causes damage to life and property. Flood water submerges everything when it enters an area. People are helpless. They move to other areas with limited goods, only which they are able to carry. When water recedes, people return to their homes and often find great damage to their crops and belongings. Moving to safer places on time helps people to save their lives. India witnesses numerous floods in a year. The reason behind these floods is the rainy season between June and September. Floods are observed every year in the floodplains of rivers like Brahmaputra in Assam, Mahanadi in Odisha, Gandak in Bihar, Beas, Satluj and Ghaggar in Punjab and Haryana. The Assam Valley is considered to be one of the worst flood-affected areas in India. In India, the flood forecasting is done by a government body called Central Water Commission, that is CWC. Floods are devastating in our country. They ruin crops, destroy livestock, damage property, and make people homeless. Precautions against floods. If we are living in a flood-prone area, we must observe the following things before the occurrence of a flood. We should remember and memorize the routes and locations to safe shelters and know the fastest and safest route to reach them. We should continuously watch flood warnings and weather reports on television, hear them on radio or on a pocket transistor. Everyone must know the use of first aid kit, especially for medicines, for snake bites and diarrhea. For trying important things and belongings, we should keep strong ropes with us. If flood water enters our houses, We should turn off the main power switch immediately to prevent shock hazards and short circuits. Food articles and clothes must be packed in a waterproof bag. We should keep good amount of fresh water to drink, food articles and kerosene. Snakes are life-threatening during the floods, so we should keep a bamboo stick to throw out snakes. People should eat fresh cooked food only and drink boiled water. Normal water is contaminated during the floods. For any need during floods, people should take the help from police, disaster management team and various agencies. Droughts. Droughts can be defined as extreme shortage of rainfall or water in a particular area. It directly affects the crops and results in the shortage of food for humans and fodder for animals. In India, more than 70% of the total cultivable land is drought-prone. The drought-prone areas of India are Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rayalaseema and Telangana in Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Tamil Nadu, Bihar, Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka. Drought is a common phenomenon in India, but due to better planning and drought management programs, their capacity to kill large number of animals and people has been reduced. Precautions against droughts. Drought is a slow occurring natural disaster. Though rainfall is not in our hands, but through proper management, we can make long-term policies to combat drought effectively. Farmers should be made aware about the conservation of water at home. Rainwater harvesting system must be promoted throughout the drought-prone areas. Common people should be trained properly about the conservation of water. They should be aware about the limited availability of water. They must be informed about the plans and strategies of government regarding drought and how to combat them. Drought-resistant crops must be planted and crop insurance schemes should be encouraged to recover the loss. Proper irrigation facilities are the primary and the best way to fight the drought. The modern technique of drip irrigation must be followed. This step is quite successful in the states of western Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and Punjab. Tsunami. When a large mass of water is displayed, a tsunami develops. It occurs due to a volcanic eruption or an undersea earthquake. Tsunami travels at a high speed of around 500 to 1000 km per hour. Its speed decreases and its height increases when it enters the shallow coastal waters. When the tsunami waves reaches the coast, it appears as a wall of water. The fast-moving wave can destroy houses and varied structures in the coastal areas with its enormous energy. Great loss of life and property is caused due to tsunami. Tsunamis are not frequent, but they can occur at any point of time in the year. They can cause a large amount of destruction. Precautions against tsunami. If you are in a coastal area and you experience an earthquake, move to higher ground immediately. You should know the height of your area above sea level and the distance from the coast. The areas of risk are within 2 km from the coast and less than 10 meters above sea level. A plan of the evacuation route can be prepared from your house, workplace or school so that you can reach a safe location within few minutes. Tsunami warning systems should be installed in high-risk zones. Human-made disasters. They are caused because of negligence and mistakes of human beings. They include terrorism, riots, use of weapons of mass destruction, war, industrial accidents, large fires, and collapse of economic and social structures. Precautions to be taken. In case of exposure to nuclear radiation, close the doors and windows of your house and stay indoors. Keep a chart of do's and don'ts in the case of a chemical disaster. Find out above the antidote needed in case of poisoning of people, animals, water resources, etc., and their availability. Follow instructions of the local authorities. To avoid accidents, follow traffic rules. Learn the basic do's and don'ts from the fire station personnel for protection in case of fire. Form a local disaster management team.